He's sitting on 3 elims, another one of those players who was up towards that top spot. Honestly, a little comfortably in the top 8 the last time we saw him.
Can we quickly talk about how that was probably one of the hardest end zones we've ever seen? Them having to go up polar peak, down polar peak, and then finish on ice. Like, insane gameplay from coming out from everyone there. But now we're watching Noisy. He does leave his baller, protects it, makes sure that it does not roll down the hill, and trying to get this clear. Ooh, headshot onto his opponent.
Trax,
Goodbye,
Brett.
Trax.
You okay there, bud? That was some real hard gargoyling. And what we mean by that, I mean, you guys have seen gargoyle structures on the side of those old-timey castles. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But when you hang out the outside a little bit too long, these players are way too good. But you talked about that last game, how that zone was incredibly ridiculous. How about this one, Kitty? Look at where we're located.
Yeah, I actually really love these volcano finishes. I think they're really fun. This area with all these geysers mixes it up a little bit, provides some interesting rotation for these players, but they're just perched on the edge here.
Yeah, I think they're incredibly fun up until the circle is too narrow to where you're forced over the geyser and the players aren't realizing it because generally they have tarped out there. So all of a sudden, everything that happened before just doesn't matter anymore. So everyone gets reset. So it's kind of like a quick little, you know, like Yahtzee, throw everything up in the air, see what you got, roll them all over again if you didn't like it. As Noisy picks up Sista right there.
Unable to figure out where these shots are coming for right now, and he's just landing everything on his opponents. Isn't able to pick up the elimination on him, but he's doing great. He's got that rift in his inventory, 7 rockets, a jump pad. This is exactly the loadout you want to see moving into these final zones.
Yeah, 3 spike traps as well, and he was also already in the next safe zone. So the rest of the lobby who's on that other side is going to need to rotate back over him, as you have Destiny's Jesus hanging out in here as well.
A few players coming up from inside the volcano, making their play now, utilizing that air that thrusts you up into the sky and getting their placement here on the next zone. But they will have to go down, and once they've redeployed that glider, they need to wait that time to get down to that lower area, and you can be very vulnerable, but Drop not taking any damage during that rotation.
Yeah, that's called a maximum deploy height. What we mean by that is because you're only allowed... As Drop doesn't give us any time taking over the wall, editing, getting the player. What we mean by that is you're only allowed to dive so far down, and it's dependent on what form of mobility you're using, whether it's jumping from the bus, whether it's redeploy, or whether it is a launch pad. Each one of them has a slightly different rift to go, also dependent on how close the ground is. But eventually you're stuck there gliding, and you will get punished as these players don't give you a second to breathe.
No, not a single second. As soon as he notices his wall has been replaced, he is shotgun to the face, and back to the lobby for him. Good luck next time. We've got 39 players remaining right now in here. We need them down to 25 to have access to those placement points if they don't want this game to be a waste.
Yep, 25, that first threshold, granting you 3 points. Don't forget, there's 10 total placement points available. You get 2 more at top 15, 2 more at top 5, and then the Victor Royale gets 3. And also, if you guys are just joining us, welcome. You can see Majin, one of the players also in that top 10, utilizing a stink right here. We are in the finals of the European region as he picks up C-Talks on apparently his alt account. We're in the finals of Europe. We're looking to qualify 8 additional players into the Fortnite World Cup final in New York City on July 26th to the 28th at Arthur Ashe Stadium. Now, we've already qualified 2 players earlier today. We wrapped up Oceania and Asia. We saw Chief Slaya and Top Faxbox go through. We're trying to find out who from Europe is going to be joining them. I'm Sundown, joined by Kitty Plays, as we're going to get you the rest of the action up through the end of the matches for Europe.
Yes, we've got an extremely stacked lobby right now. We are just heading into the end of this. Top 8 people are going to have a spot in that world event. These guys are playing for a huge prize pool. If you qualify today, you are guaranteed that $75,000.
Yes, you will be in that prize pool. You also get a little bit for qualifying as well. And don't forget as well, it's not just those qualification spots up for grabs. There's $1 million every week for all 10 weeks of the online opens that is spread fairly decently out there. So it's not necessarily you have to be in that top 1%. If you're in the top 500 for some of the reasons, the top $2 grand for others, you have a chance to win a little bit of cash. I mean, that's a solid amount of V-Bucks.
I'll take some cash for playing video games. That's awesome. Yeah, get your hands on the skin of your favorite. We're checking now in with Atlanta's
Majin, however you want to pronounce it. Let us know which one you prefer, buddy, because at this point, you can be called whatever you want as you run through this lobby, pushing yourself into the top 25. You also have Benji Fishy in there as well. So we talk about those leaderboard significant lobbies. What we mean by that, the players in the top 10, once you get up there, you're all matched with players close in points to you. You're playing against the best of the best. You had to be in the top 3,000 to get here, but now you could directly take somebody else out of a spot if you eliminate them. Majin and Benji in particular were, I think, 4th and 6th the last time we looked at the leaderboards, so they're right on top of each other.
Yes, and they need to secure this. You never know who's going to come up from the bottom, too. It's not just each other they're facing, it's the 3,000 people, like we said earlier, sitting on 5 eliminations. That is not his, that is his trap. Thankfully, gets down to 2K, but does get poisoned a little bit, is going to be ticking for some health, but finds a med kit.
Yeah, finds 2 med kits right now. That poison trap is a 10 damage for 8 ticks, 80 damage total, but because he got the siphon going off, no problem there. As we take a look at this wide view, you have VR Refscar on Ultimate High as he starts to work down. You have Osmo, one of the other boys from Secret. We saw him pop off with his partner Milan in the last duos competition in the Lux Cup, but Cooler's Gebber as well on the low ground. 5 elims right now.
Sundown, that's amazing. The boom bow, the RPG, the legendary pump, and that heavy sniper to utilize that instant wall break right here. Amazing, amazing. He is on that low ground though, which some people think of as a disadvantage, but the way that we've seen players play today, it is not a disadvantage. Getting 2 clean shots onto his opponents and 2 eliminations put him back at 162 health.
And it gets him closer to that top 5. So 7 elims already got 5 placement points as well. So 12 minimum from him there as Refscar does pick up another elim on the middle ground. So you have Bleak 23 in the top right on the middle tarp. You have Gebber on that ultimate low ground now trying to break through the metal of these players now. Does have that higher health. It's harder to break through, but gets a little bit of space now. Refscar Ultimate High. You have Paco and Magic. Gebber going for a retake, and he gets right up there. Brilliantly done. So now he's on the 2nd level. Osmo on ultimate low. Refscar trying to cover as Majin picks up Paco, and we have our top 5. So it's all about eliminations and victory royales now, Kitty. Refscar, Ultimate High, Gebber, 1 tarp beneath. That's the fight to keep an eye on. Will Gebber be able to get clear of that? Osmo does get some bandages off as Majin gets picked up by Osmo, who's ducked out of the storm to try and find some shots. Refscar and Gebber working on each other. Gebber drops down. Can he convert? Yes, Gebber does. It's Gebber versus Bleak. This is the Gebber show. The player from Cooler dropping down. Can he find it?
Yes!
Will he get it? Yes, he does. Gebber picks up the elimination.
Elimination!